I'm Jamie Carragher, and you are listening to the Copeye Podcast.
Good start. I'm muted. I was muted, weren't I? Sorry, everyone. Shit start. We haven't done this since November, so we're back. We're back anyway. How's it going? Drink and discuss. We haven't. What was the last time? 15th of November. I think we've done one of these. This is technically episode 3. So it's been 9 months. We had a little baby. We're back. We're back for another show. How's it doing, lad? How's it going?
Yeah, good. It's good to be back doing this kind of stuff and, doing another show in one way as well. We probably should do this even more often, but it's just what it is, I guess, with life coming in the way as well, trying to sort things out. But yeah, smashing the shows now for, Premier League and Champions League. But it's nice to be back and doing drink and discuss and just talk about life and drinks and pubs and football and stuff like that. So yeah, how are you?
Yeah, sound. Well, that's a fancy Guinness glass there. What, have you got like a little? Is that like a little Charles glass or something? Or?
It's just a beer glass, I would say. But yeah, I got my Guinness in this one. Like I just pour it slowly and let it set it for. Yeah, that's a proper glass.
This is a pint. This is a pint. I was telling someone today. Actually, I was like, Sweden's nice and that, but you go to get a pint from the bar, and they give you like this little thing, what they call as a pint, and I was like, it's not quite a pint, is it? It's like 500 ml, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. It's not a pint in the same way as you have in England, but yeah, I always pour myself pints at home though, even more if I can.
Have you got like normal size pints in yours though, like proper ones?
At home?
Yeah.
Yeah. Proper ones.
Oh,
yeah, I got a glass which I won when I actually won like indoors Australian footy league when I was living in Australia. We were like 4. It's like 5 aside, one goalie. I can't remember if it was 3 outplayers or 4. I can't remember. Anyway, this was back in 2008. So we won that league, and I got a glass with soccer champions on it, indoor footy. So I use that when I have a proper drink. It's a little bit bigger. So yeah,
sweet.
I have that one.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff. Well, there's got a few comments we can go through. Kali, I'm probably going to ruin his name here. Kali Kovac? No?
Yeah, good. Yeah, Kali
Kovac.
Yeah, I know who he is.
I just sound Welsh when I do it though. Sorry, Kali.
Yeah, he do things for the Swedish official supporters club, like
what a
YouTubes
guy.
and writing some chronicle stuff. It's really good. So nice of him to jump on this. Nice one,
lad. Nice one. Well, I'll be over some point in the future, so me and you can go and visit him. And where did you say it was again? Whereabouts in Sweden?
I don't know where he's based.
Oh,
he's
right.
Doing things for the official supporters club.
Well, I'm sure he can tell us.
Of course, yeah.
We've got Doug in. Hello, Mick and Kristian. Nice one. Doug, nice to see you, mate. Yuki, hello, Mick and Kristian. Yeah. Feels weird doing this. It feels like it's been ages, but it's also not. Like, it just feels normal as well, which is weird. I'm not sure. I'm probably, like I said, I've already fucked up at the beginning, so I'm going to fuck up again at some point.
A bit rusty.
Yeah, exactly. Callie says, in Gothenburg, you'll get a pint. There's even a bar with the best pints where I'm not allowed because the owner's a United supporter. I paid with an LFC card once. Oh, yeah. That's boss, though, isn't it? Like,
let's go and smash that bar.
Well, we smashed them last couple of weeks ago, didn't we? So if you might as well just keep smashing them, why not?
True.
Yuki says, is that OLSC Sweden?
I think so, yeah. It should be the official Liverpool Sports Club, yeah. I think that's the one. Calder have to correct me if it's not, but yeah, it should be the one. Yeah.
Sweet. Aiden's in. Nice one, Aiden. Nice. How you doing, lad? We've got Nicholas in as well. Hi lads, I want to hear the best pub crawl from the city centre out at Anfield. Is there any good stops along the way you can recommend?
He sent me
Well,
this before on WhatsApp. It's my friend. I don't know if you met him, Mick, but he was over in Liverpool when last October last year when my brother and I
yeah,
was over and we travelled with them. But I don't think you met him.
don't think so.
But yeah, we're always talking about pub crawls, new pubs to visit and stuff. So him and me will probably travel at some point this season and come over. So then you have to obviously meet up with us. But yeah, he's had this list with loads of pubs, and he'd be like, choose your best, like your 5 of these. And I said, it's impossible. I love them all. It's just, it's just where you want to go for the day, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be thinking of asking you like what's your favourite top 5 pubs, because you like any pub if they've got Guinness or they've got whatever on draft. Any place where there's a little, it's got shelter, it's got drinks. Kristian just like at home. You just go in and lie down and be like, yeah, this is my new gaff.
Yeah. But we have to give him some. You who lives there obviously have to give him some kind of suggestions, I guess, for him, because I think he's over quite soon as well. I think he's over for Leverkusen in the Champions League at home, so he's probably going to have a bit of a pub crawl then.
See, I wouldn't. So, like from the centre to Anfield, so I wouldn't really do like that. Or, like on the way, I would like go to town and then get a taxi straight to Anfield and go to the like pubs by Anfield.
I'll do it the other way. Like going back from the match, I'm going sometimes, if it's good weather, down to the city centre from Anfield. But then you've been on the drinks all day, so you'll be like, you probably just want to go to town. But sometimes it's so busy anyway with taxis and people, so you might just stop on the way. But I never remember where I've been at that stage.
See, the one I always go to is because I get the train, I get off at Sandhills and I walk down. There's one on the corner called the Phoenix, which is like Anfield rap. Sometimes do shows there. I think they've done quite a few. I've noticed recently they've done quite a few like post-match ones at the Phoenix. So if you wanted to potentially see them after the match, you'd go to the Phoenix because you're probably likely to see them there. Like usually Neil and Craig and Phil Blundell and a few others as well. But yeah, I wouldn't really know like in between town and Anfield. I don't think I'd know that many really.
I don't remember any names. I know that I popped into a few on the way when we walked back, like just to make it, get all the busy things when people are moving and taxis and stuff. Just like pop in here for one or whatever. But if you're walking down from Anfield down to the city centre, then just walk in, like, yeah, get in here. And I don't remember the name. I don't really, get the name in my memory in that way, because you just walk in, have a pint, just, let's have another walk down. And then you come down to the city centre and then you obviously know where you are then. But yeah.
But and you're 12 pints deep at that point anyway, so.
Yep. And probably a couple of vodkas down as well.
Yeah, vodka's pre-match and then you straight back on the bevies again, on the beers and that. So I mean, if Nicholas, if you want to get in touch, I can give you a proper list like from that I've already got from like that I've made for someone else. I think I wrote it out a few weeks ago for someone else. I can send you that if you want, because that's got a few ones for town and around that area, different areas of town which are decent. If you wanted that, let me know. What else have we got? Doug has said, did you guys see Man United made the £115 million loss, which makes their losses to the last 5 years to £380 million, yet they haven't breached PSR? Work that one out. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen that, to be honest. Have you seen that?
I read something, but that's not the most important loss they have done recently.
Badumtish. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's in me, like I say, in my old age. You know what I mean? As I'm getting a bit older, I'm giving less and less of a fuck about the other teams. Do you know what I mean? I'm just like, if we're playing them, if we've got X team coming up, like Forest, I'm like, yeah, I'll drill down into like what they've been up to and like maybe some signings they've made that I've missed or whatever. But I'm not really that arsed, to be sure. I mean, if they get found guilty of PSR, I'd be fucking made up, of course, because that'll fuck them up a little bit. But that does surprise me a little bit, because they're usually, I mean, we know they're a mess, but they've usually got enough money in the bank to kind of cover stuff. Like the incomings usually cover the outgoings, don't they? So I'm a bit surprised by that.
Yeah, but that's probably the reason why they haven't fixed that leaking roof then. So, yeah, mad bastards over there, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, they need to get that fixed first and foremost.
Now let it fucking just break down all the way to the ground.
It says all good side ready for the Reds back Saturday and no rubbish international footy. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Too right. Elias says, are any of yous heading to Milan? Unfortunately not.
No.
But I'd like to.
Yeah, I was looking. I had an offer to go from my friend, but I said
is the friend that I know.
Yeah, but it's like on Tuesday, isn't it? Working, didn't want to take holiday because I'm going to Liverpool soon, so I didn't want to use them all. And I tried to find a quick trip, like a Tuesday flight during the day, and then go back on Wednesday. I could do that and bring my computer and work through the hours, so I actually don't have to take any holidays. But yeah, I just felt there was no direct flights. There was quite expensive, and there were stops here and there. So I was like, nah, I can't bother. And in the end, he ended up going anyway. So, yeah. But yeah, not going this time. Hopefully, go for another European. I don't know if it will be in a way, but hopefully go for a Champions League game at home. Hopefully this season.
Well, I just got back in saying sorted the credits today in the AMS sale, so buzzing to get on the Euro ladder. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm always jealous. Like I've been to a few, but like I'm always jealous when I see like the lads going to these Euro aways. Like aways are good, but Euro aways are a different gravy. It's so good. Martin's in saying looking well, lads. Nice one, Martin. You'll have to jump on with us, Martin, at some point. And have a little chat about the Reds. Sorry, Doug. He said, "Well said, Kristian," but I can't remember what that was about now. Could have been any of your points.
Probably that we, the loss that Man United had, with the money.
Yeah, true.
The most important loss they had was the 3-0. That's probably, I guess.
Yeah, that'll be it. It says leaking like the Titanic. Callie says it's year 11 of the United downfall. Time passes too fast. No, I love this. I love checking like last time they won a trophy and like last time they won the Premier League and all that. I'm just like they ruined my childhood, so I'm just like basking in the glory that they're shit. Like that, and I love the way they have that like thing. Oh, we're going to be boss this season. Like we've made astute signings and like we're going to do this and we're going to do that, and it just comes crumbling down. Like it came crumbling down 3 games in this season against us, so it felt even sweeter. But usually it's like other teams beat them and they get battled or whatever. But it's just good to see them being shit, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm happy, they're playing shit as well. That's the thing. Like, I know last season, obviously, they got a few results, but they were still shit. But now they are shit, and obviously they could have lost or even, had a draw in the first game at home against Fulham, and then they lost against Brighton, they lost against us. And sometimes you can say, you actually met a better team on the day. That can happen, but, still under Ten Hag, we don't see anything that is a sign of anything that will be good anytime soon. So I'm just happy they've been shit and believing they are good and trying to make their way with him. So you just keep him for as long as you want, lads. Keeping as long as you want. We're happy.
Exactly. Martin says, thanks for the international break is over. Hopefully the lads are back fit. Yeah, well, of course, the only one that's not going to be is Harvey Elliott in it, which is. Yeah, I feel bad for him. I mean, we won't go too much into that because it'll ruin the Forest preview, which is coming out tomorrow. But yeah, it's just bad timing for Elliot, really, with in regards to that. But end of October is not too bad to come back. Like I was expecting, it might be beginning of November, but I was expecting like end of November or whatever. But end of October is not too bad. I don't think like he's going to be gutted to be missing these 7 games where he would have got chances, but just one of them things, innit? I put a little message in the groups in the chat saying, "What's your prediction for XI prediction for Forest?" And Doug has said Alisson, Trent, Kanate, Van Dijk, Robbo, Grav, Macher, Zobo, Diaz, Jota, Salah. Yeah, I think I think that I think let us know what you think. Like, but I imagine
Copy paste.
copy. Yeah, literally, it is like Slash is like, yeah, fuck it, copy and paste. Like, it's quicker. It's quicker. But I think we batter Man United with that 11, and they deserve to have another go, especially after an international break where you need the rhythm to be maintained and to be set back to the way it was pre-international break. So I imagine that's the way he's going to go. I'll be surprised if he doesn't. Like,
Yeah, there's no point to break anything that ain't broken, I guess. We've been talking about this on shows before, especially in the start. Obviously, now we're going to play more games and Champions League, and there's the League Cup coming up against West Ham as well. So obviously, players like Elliot would have probably needed him to rotate with, for example, Szoboszlai and stuff like that. But I'm thinking now in the Premier League, just after the international break, there's no point to do any changes. Just go with the same team. They feel confident together. They play well together. Not conceded a goal yet. Scored many goals. Been really good. Just keep on going with that until you have to make changes. And I think that's why substitutions of Salah, Trent, even Jota. It's clever from Arne Slot because we need them for a long season and many games. So there's no point if we're 3-0 up to let them play 90 minutes. Just take them off at 60 if possible and let them rest. I know they're going to be a little bit grumpy about it, but, let's go. Just make sure that they are fresh and, because they make the difference. And I think that's very clever of him. And I think he will, manage them without any problems. So I think that's going to be the same starting 11 as against Man United. But yeah, I think we got a great chance now with 2 home games in the Premier League to get 6 points, and we'll see what the other team's doing.
Massively. Aiden's gone for Alisson, Trent, Van Dijk, Robbo, Gravenberch, Macher, Szoboszlai, Salah, Jota, Diaz. Keep the winning team. Yeah, doesn't make any sense to change it up. I mean, I just keep thinking it's going to be the blueprint is put out your best team and then change people on 60. I think that's just. I just feel like that's the way he's going to get. The way he's going to go with it. And if it works, then fuck it. It's working a treat. So carry on doing it. Martin says, "What's the beer that you're drinking, Kristian? It's Guinness, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Guinness. It's self-poured from the can.
Straight from the can itself.
Yeah. Just a slow pour with this one, just like, leaning the glass and slowly tilting it or whatever. I read this, like, if you have it in a can like that, I read there's 2 ways of pouring it. A slow pour, like, the classic one.
Or the bang.
Or the bang one, yeah. So
bang
I did it slow now because I didn't want to have Guinness all over my computer here while we're doing this. So, but yeah, it's a Guinness, and I love my Guinness. Guinness are good for me.
Yeah, I mean, if you get that reference, I'm not going to tell you what the reference is. If you get it, then you are a legend. Aiden said might be 1 or 2 changes against Milan Tuesday and League Cup as well. Yeah, that's the main. Like, got West Ham, and then Champions League. So we need to be making sure we're fresh and firing for them, especially with, like, again, Elliot not being available gives an opportunity for whoever, a Gakpo or whatever, to go into that 10 position, because we know that Szoboszlai was the number 1 fella because he's been there the whole time in the first 3 games. And Slot said, like, Elliot's his, like, replacement for that position, so he's not there. So it's going to be interesting to see who the backup is in that regard to Szoboszlai. Jay says FSG out.
Get him out.
Yeah, 3 games, 3 wins, no goals conceded. Yeah, it's funny, innit? Because, like, I think, Jay, you put, like, a poll on Twitter. I think you were saying, like, what would you prefer, a new signing or 3 points at the weekend? And, like, the amount of people that were just putting, like, a new signing, I was reading it going, oh my god, this has got to be a joke. The people that were putting a new signing over 3 points, but that's just yeah. Social media is just a beast, innit? Just it's a mad, venomous beast that we love, but we also hate in equal measure.
Yeah.
Aiden says Miss Canate. Oh yeah, I just realised. Oh yeah, so Aiden was going for a back 3 there originally with Trent, Van Dijk and Robbo. Fucking hell, don't do that to us.
Probably works.
That'd be hilarious. Yeah, so what are your thoughts on? We might as well talk about Forest a little bit, because it's nice to be back at Anfield. It feels like ages ago, like 1st of September when we battered United, but it's had to just get him back into the swing of it, like international break. Just if it hasn't been that long, it's only been like a week or whatever, but like it just seems like so long, doesn't it? When you just sat around waiting, the weekends just don't seem the same.
Even if you appreciate players like Trent bossing, England's play, with his pass and stuff, it's just depressing, to be honest. Like I saw a few of Sweden's goal against Estonia, which was great, 3 great goals, but I just don't feel anything. Like, I'm happy they won. Obviously, it's my country, but I don't feel anything. And for me, football is emotions. I want to feel something. I want to be, joyful, happy, or I want to be sad and angry. That's the thing. Like, I want to feel something, whether it's happiness or sadness, because that's what football is. It takes you up and down all the time, mostly up the recent years, and especially at the moment as well. But that's the thing. International football is not for me anymore. I haven't been for many years. Like, I used to love it when I was a child, and with the World Cups from '94, and even early 2000s when Sweden was very good. And it's not just because of that. It's just like I kind of lost the connection to Swedish players. I don't think we are not managing to get as good players as we used to do, like out of our country. Even if we got like Isaac in Newcastle, and we got a Bergvall now in Tottenham, he's a really young prospect and stuff. It's just something. Yeah, exactly. We got a few. They are good playing in Premier League. Some playing in the Italian league and stuff as well. There are a few players, but it's not the same. And I just think, since everything's just been, with World Cups in Russia and back, over in Qatar, and it feels like it's something dodgy in everything that goes with it. We can talk about that in all kind of football, obviously. It covers everything, but it's not the same as it was when you were a kid, and you rather just follow your team. And in my case, it turned out to be Liverpool because of my dad. And some people always tell me you should support your local team. You're Swedish, blah blah blah. I don't have any. Like, I grew up close to a city where you got Elfsborg, where Anders Svensson used to play, and they won the league a couple of times, and they were quite good. It's still quite good now. But I never got attached because my dad always just said, let's watch Liverpool, talk about Liverpool, blah, blah, blah. So he kept going, and that's the way it is. And can't do anything about it because it's just what it is. You don't really choose. It just comes to you. Like, I never kind of sat down and be like, will I support them or whatever. It just got to you because my dad supported them, and you never really had a choice. It just got to you from that, I guess.
Is that like like not supporting the national team? Like, you watch it, but like you said, you're not that interested in it. Is that like a Liverpool Swedish thing, or is that like a
probably? I don't know.
I just wondered if it's like a certain, like for England, it's usually Liverpool fans in it that don't watch England. But I wondered if it's similar for like other nationalities as well.
A few, maybe. I think, like Oliver, who you met, he goes to the Swedish games a lot. Like, because obviously he lives in Stockholm as well, and we play our home games in Stockholm. It's easy, obviously, with access and stuff with tickets, but he's also into it. So he's been to different tournaments, he's been to away games, and he goes with his girlfriends. And I know Henrik, my mate as well, he goes sometimes, been to different tournaments. So some people just like to invest their time and money into that, and that's fine, obviously. I'm just not one of them. I just feel like I'd rather invest my money in Liverpool, especially going over to Liverpool, because I just love the city and I can meet up with you and other friends and, have a good time. And if I get the chance to go to, away games, even if it's in Premier League or if it's Euro ways, like I've done before, I jump on it as soon as I can. It's a little bit harder with kids now and stuff like that. But, if I get the chance, I go, and I rather just invest my emotions into that, because that's where, like I said, where I feel something. And maybe it's a bit of a mix, like a Swedish Liverpool thing, where you don't really care about the national team anymore in the same way that you did as a child.
Yeah, I think that must be similar to people as our age, because I was the same. Like, I was like when you're like 5, 6, 7, like, to watch England. Like, I remember like Euro '96. Like, I was like, as a 6, 7-year-old, I was fully invested in that. Do you know what I mean? I remember being like upset when like we got knocked out and all that. But it changes, doesn't it? Like, that's the thing. Like, it's mad. It's mad that way.
But the weird thing is, because I grew up like in a small place in a little town, but my best friends we're obviously half English. Like the mum is Swedish and the dad is English, and they live in Sweden. He's a Chelsea supporter anyway, the dad, but the three boys supporting Liverpool, which is nice. So we grew up together, playing football together, watch games together. Obviously Liverpool, but I even if they supported Liverpool, obviously the dad with being Chelsea fan, they followed England as well. So I kind of, at one stage in my life where, in the early 2000s when Sven-Göran Eriksson was the manager, had become the manager, like the game against Greece when Beckham scored that free kick. At one stage in my life, I even kind of more supported the England national team than the Swedish, because I was more into English football in general. It might sound weird, but I knew more about them players
And
because of
Spain as well.
Liverpool and Premier League and everything.
Yeah.
So I felt more, in one way, more connected to them players because of when Gerrard, was in that team, Heskey was in that team, even Murphy was in the team at some point. So, and obviously with Sven as well, but I just felt, because I watched all the games with them, I felt kind of taken into the English culture of watching games. They made, Sunday roast, they made all the chicken burgers and chips and on the Saturday and stuff. And they always, so I was always there watching games if I wasn't at home watching with my dad. So it kind of, at one point, I was more into the English national team than the Swedish. But then obviously now being grown up, if Sweden go to a World Cup or European Cup or Championship, obviously I will follow and I will watch and I cheer them on. But it's more about, like I said, emotions. I don't get the same emotions as I get when I watch Liverpool, and it probably will never be.
Yeah, very, very true. Doug says, do you have, I wish people would stop putting like names in that I'm not going to be able to pronounce. Victor Gyökeres.
Gyökeres, yeah. He plays for
Gyökeres.
Sporting now. He was in Coventry before. Like, he scored many goals. He's been rumoured to go to Arsenal. Even Liverpool said was interested for a while because he's smashing it in Sporting in Portugal. But obviously, if he comes over to the Premier League, he got to prove himself in a way like Isaac has done, because obviously I wasn't sure about him at first because he's got injury problems, and now he's brilliant. But Victor Gyökeres is actually great. He scored in the game with Sweden the other night, as I mentioned. He looks like a really proper striker, but you need to take it to the level where you play in the Premier League or La Liga or whatever, and be in the top 3 leagues to be considered one of the greats, I guess. So
I remember being in a pub with you and we were talking about when I think it was like Newcastle was signing Isak, and we were talking about like him, and I remember you saying like you're not sure about him, and I was like, I just felt like profile wise he fits, because like he's tall, he's got a bit of strength, he's very quick, and he's a great finisher. I was like, that if you get the right team and you get the right service to him, he's gonna score.
I know.
I mean, he's very. I really like Isak.
Now, the thing is, he proved me wrong, and I think he's doing brilliantly in Newcastle at the moment. But I based my opinion then on, he was coming up as a very young player in AIK in Sweden, and he went to Dortmund, I think, quite quickly and played for their second team. And, everyone said, is he going to start for them as an 18-year-old? And I can't remember now if he did many games, but then obviously he went first on a loan to Real Sociedad, I think, and then he went there and he had one good season where he scored quite many goals, and then the other one wasn't that good. And then he was bought from there to Newcastle. He had a loan spell as well where he scored, I think, in Holland. I'm not sure now, but I think so. We also scored goals. So he was actually scoring goals in, not that good leagues where other players have scored many goals, but then haven't managed to succeed in the Premier League. So when Newcastle bought him, I thought like, a little bit of injury prone, hasn't scored that many goals in a bigger league, and also now coming to a more physical league than La Liga. But proved me wrong, scoring great goals, doing well. So hat off to him.
No, I like it. I think he's a good player. I think he's a very good player. I love players that are that good at finishing. I can just really appreciate it because it's so hard to do. Like Thierry Henry is probably like my favourite ever, like non-Liverpool play, like Premier League player, just because he just made it easy, didn't he? Like the finishing ability and all that. Like just like most of his goals
made it look easy, I guess.
Yeah, it was like year 7s against like year 11s, and just getting absolutely bullied. Like the pace and the power and like just ridiculous ability. So like when you can see other players who've got obviously not the same level, nowhere near, but who've got like similar qualities, I really enjoy it. Aidan says, same here, used to love international footy, but it just gets in the way now. Pointless games like the Nations League. Yeah, it's just...
It's too much.
After 3 games of a new season, that, like, surely that's just ridiculous. And then we've got another 4 Premier League games, so, and then we've got another international break. So, you know what I mean? It's like we've got 3 international break. We've got 7 games, but there's only 4 Premier League games in that. So we're only going to be 7 games in before so it's going to be 7 games in, 2 international breaks. Like, how is that a fit? Like, how is that a normal ratio? Do you know what I mean? Like, players are going off all around. Like whoever's going anywhere, if McAllister's going to Argentina, like Allison to Brazil. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just ridiculous. Yeah. Like, air miles and, like, it's craziness.
Yeah, I said to my brother today, because I talked to him, and we are coming over for the Chelsea game. Obviously, that's after the international break next time.
Yeah.
So we were saying, our luck would probably be, that, Trent is out with an injury. Allison had a bit of a knock. McAllister's out. So it's like, so just stay fit, lads, and it'll be okay.
Fingers crossed, lad. Fingers crossed for you. Callie says, international games is to football what Nike shirts are to football. It's fine, but have you seen Robbie Fowler in the 3 stripes? Robbie Fowler. Let's not start on Robbie Fowler. Don't get Jay started on Robbie Fowler, because
I love him too. It's my first Liverpool, my first Liverpool hero. So
especially like going back to Adidas, like it's made me like add a little Google like Liverpool Adidas kits, and like just the sheer amount of like beauties, like, oh my god, like the green one. Like, I love a green like Liverpool kit, a green Adidas kit. Like, I think I put one in the group chat yesterday, like the with Alonso, with the emerald green. It's just like so nice. Like, just like, and like the of course the square one, like the green and white and squares, like just iconic kits. And yeah, it's be good to have them back again. Because Nike, I do like Nike, to be fair. I don't mind Nike, but I think Adidas is like, we've had so many iconic kits from them over the years. I just want to see a few more. I want to see a few more. If we win the Premier League this season, the kit we've got now, of course, it's instantly iconic and it will be forever. But yeah, let's get Adidas back in. Be boss. Doug says, watching Scotland right now is pretty grim. So many late goals conceded. So annoying. I miss the club footy. It's mad how we have 3 international breaks: September, October, November. Yeah, I honestly don't know who's in charge, but they're absolutely talking shit, because I don't know
corrupt bastards.
I don't know what they're doing, honestly. It's mad. Callie says, international games are... I've just read that. Sorry, lads. I'm just... but you
only on the bevies.
No, he's put it in twice. In my defence, he's put it in twice. So I was like, I've had like 2 drinks. Like, surely I'm not that smashed already. Jay says, Zlatan scored the best goal ever.
Oh yeah.
Against England.
Yeah,
that was a ridiculous goal, Werner.
Yeah, I can't remember now, but it must have been like 2012 when they... Was it the first game at the new stadium in Stockholm? I can't remember if it was, but I remember watching it in Stoke-on-Trent at the bar, because obviously I was living in England at the time. So we were a few lads that went out to watch it, and when he scored that, we were absolutely in heaven in one way. And like I said, that was something, with Zlatan, there's a different thing for me, like when it comes to the Sweden as a national team, because he actually gives emotions in the way that he played football and the way he scored goals, because he was such an important player and obviously the best player that Sweden has ever seen. And I remember seeing him as an 18-year-old playing for Malmö against Elfsborg away when I was there as a kid. I think I might have been, I don't know, 13, 14 maybe. I think that's probably the right age. He was 18, 19, I can't remember. Something like that. And I just remember that all the young boys that were there watching him playing and played footy ourselves at that time, watched him and just thought like, no one could take the ball from him. He was just so unbelievable good already as an, 18-year-old. Even if it was the Swedish league and it's not that good, everyone could see there's something special. Obviously, he went to Ajax and developed from there, and then he just kind of completed football in one way, except winning the Champions League.
Yeah, great player. Like, to be fair, I always looked like there was like a clip where like I think he was up against Lucas, and Lucas went steaming into him, and he just like kind of just like grabbed Lucas round by the neck and just like swung him round, and I was like, oh, poor Lucas, lad, poor Lucas, what a guy. Martin's got a good question. Question for everyone: which LFC ex-player from the 80s, 90s, noughties, or 10s would you put into Slot's squad? Just a bit of fun. I think you should have a little caveat there. It can't be Gerrard, because I think that's the obvious choice, isn't it?
Yeah. I was gonna go with Gerrard straight away, because he will go into any team at any time and whatever. You can't
pick Gerrard, because everyone's going to say Gerrard. What do you reckon?
I'll go for Suarez then. It's not difficult. I'll go for Suarez. He's the best player I ever seen live, together with Gerrard in a Liverpool shirt. I think what he did when he was at Liverpool, and even if we had that season, we weren't that good. We were still not at the same level that we went to in a couple of years after. But the way that he played football, because it was not only the goals that he scored, it was the way that he played. He just went through players with his power, and then he could score free kicks. He scored unbelievable weird goals, and he was a driving force. And I think in any team that Liverpool would ever have, in our history, I think Suarez would be an addition that you can't look away from, if you like. I think Suarez was brilliant, but obviously there's many more. I think people will have different opinions, but I think there's so many players that you could still be like, yeah, he was brilliant, but you could still replace him. I don't think you can find a Suarez. That's the thing. You can't find all them qualities in one player. As that's the thing. All the attributes that he had, it's hard to find, because you could pick them from different places and put them all together. But he had it as one player, and that's probably why I choose Suarez, I guess.
He really was. He was a joke. He really, everything. The only thing, he was just a knobhead, weren't he? He was just he weren't a massive.
He was our knobhead.
He was our knobhead, but after he's gone and that, he was a prick. Do you know what I mean? He was a massive prick, but on the field, counting aside, just nibbling on people's arms and all that, and all mad shit that he was up to. Footy wise, he was ridiculously good. I think. Probably one of the, like you said, one of the best I've seen live, at Anfield. Free kicks and tenacity, and scoring about 400 goals against Norwich.
And the fucking energy as well. The energy that he had, that he never ever gave up. He was chasing balls over the pitch. He didn't really let anything go to a chance. If he could get a ball, even though he would still go for it, even if though it was going out or whatever. He would never be like, I can't be bothered. He was going for it. And I was at the game when Kuyt scored the hat-trick against Man United, and just one of them moments where you'd be like, wow, you have seen a player now, coming up to another level and just playing around with that Man United side that were back then. And I was at Norwich away as well when he scored that long shot, or that goal where Gerrard was first furious about him not passing and stuff. And I remember we were in the way, and I remember there was one Liverpool fan that just ran out on the pitch and kind of, went down on his knees and did this. And
I saw that.
And showed all his arse, because his pants was down, so you could see he's all cracked there. It's like, yeah, get in. But it's good memories, and being at Norwich away for the first hat-trick that he scored, I think. Obviously, a really good moment. I went with Oliver, had a really nice little romantic overnight stay in Norwich.
That one from the halfway line. Oh my god! It was just I think he was at that point there where he was like, you know what? I've done everything now. I've scored every goal I'm ever going to score. I'm just going to fucking shoot from the halfway line. Do you know what I mean? He just a pissed. I know obviously Alonso did it, but we knew Alonso was technical ability and he could do it, because he tried it quite often. Alonso, he tried it a few times throughout his Liverpool career, and got closer and closer. And he thought one day against Newcastle, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna score. But Suarez was just at the point where he was just taking the piss, he was just ridiculous. Callie says John Barnes 100%. Doug says Alonso 100%. Martin's gone for Barnes, Fowler, Sammy and Suarez. Jay says Hansen, Fowler, Gerrard and Suarez. And
that's a team that will win anything by themselves. 4 against 11.
Yeah, Suarez. That's me. I love when you're trying to think of a 5-star team, just ridiculous amount of good players. Yeah, I think I think Suarez is the easy shout, but like imagine like Fowler in this side, like just we praise Jota for being like a clinical finisher, but imagine throwing Robbie Fowler in this side where you like give him a few chances, he's gonna bury most games would be dead and buried within 30 minutes. Do you know what I mean? Because he'll have scored twice or 3 times. The game would be done. You can make all your subs, make all 5 subs, bring Fowler off himself after half an hour after he scored twice and keep him fresh for the next game. Yeah. He was just like, I remember when I met him for the first time, like he was like, I went in this pub years ago and he was like, I walked in, I think we drew 2-2 with Everton. And it was the one where Suarez scored late. Speaking of Suarez, he scored late, but it was given offside, but it weren't offside. Obviously pre-VAR days, and then we're just walking in like his Fowler was like having like a bottle of Moretti, and like the bar was chocker, and I walked past everyone and went straight for Fowler. I was like, "What are you having, Robbie lad?" And everyone was like, "Oh, fucking hell, I'm next." I was like, "It's Robbie Fowler. You're not next. Robbie Fowler's next." You know what I mean? But yeah, just to get to chat to like someone like that, who's like your idol, and you get to just have a little chat about the footy. Just mad, just craziness. It's boss.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know any others like outside the box shouts. Like Jay said, like Hansen and
Stefan Henshaw.
Stefan Henshaw. In goal?
the in pain face.
Yeah, what was it? Someone said like he looks like he's just constant. Looks like he's got like left. Remember, he's left the oven on or something. I think someone used to say. He's like, oh fucking hell, like needs to run back home. Yeah. He's always rev. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think like some outside the box shout. I think Alonso was a good shout.
Yeah, it's hard because there's so many good players.
Mascherano was just ridiculously good. Aga with no injuries. Sturridge with no. Fucking hell, Danny Sturridge. Sturridge. An injury-free Sturridge. Fuck me.
Yeah, I loved Steve Finlan as well because he was always a 7, never any worse than that. Always good, always perfect. Balanced in his offensive and defensive play. I think it was brilliant for us. Even though you can always argue, obviously now with Trent as a right back, comparing. But at that time, you'd be like solid right back. No problems. Yeah. So, but obviously, you wouldn't get into in a discussion with being the best, but if you players you appreciated, that's the thing. I guess I appreciate Steve Finnan, Sam Hippier, for example. Was a legend as well. But
like
players that you,
players of course. Like for Finnan, like if we can find them, because like apparently he's like got his own little company. But I just like to think he's like in a cave somewhere, like an island. He's just found himself a little cave with like. He's got like a pub around the corner with Guinness on tap, and he just goes around there and just chills.
But players that left the mark, like Jovanovic, El Hadi Diouf, players like that.
Well, like Callie says, Andre Voronin, maybe you could get him fired. If Arnie Slot could get a tune out of Andre Voronin, then he's the best manager in the world.
Ukrainian porn star playing as a striker for Liverpool. Amazing.
You know what? Like, it's funny, like, because he's maybe had the best pre-season I've ever seen for a player, and is ultimately turned into a bag of shit. Like I need to see like a better pre-season and a worse player, like because he was just firing them in. We were like, fucking hell, I've got an absolutely beast on our hands here, and then we know what happened. Kristian, maybe you remember the Voronin as a subject to the greatest Swedish commentary in history. He shoots, throw in.
Yeah, I don't remember, but that's probably
that sounds familiar.
Yeah, but
I mean, not to me in terms of the commentary, but that sounds familiar because that's what he did. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly, but that's the thing. That I think Jurgen Klopp had him in mind, didn't he? As a player,
he did. Yeah, there's a picture. There's a picture. Yeah, where and
then he went to Leverkusen. He was not that bad. He was alright, and that's why we picked him up. Because he had a bit of a reputation as being a good player, but he didn't really manage to do it in Liverpool.
Yeah, and Callie mentions like commentary stuff. Like there's a dead funny clip of like what I like to like summarize Liverpool with Gerrard. Like in that period where we weren't that good, but Gerrard was just the main fella. Gerrard plays this like 70-yard ball to like I think it's Smitzer, Vladimir Smitzer, and it's John Bradley on comms, like the LFC TV commentator, and he's like, "What a ball by Gerrard! Smitzer falls over." Like that's one of my favorite ever, because like he takes this 70-yard pass down. It's a good touch, to be fair, and he falls over, and you're like,
Yeah, but that's
if
the
you would
funny
have
thing.
scored that.
Yeah, but that's the funny thing with Gerard passes, because I remember, I can't remember who was commentating in Swedish at that time, but I remember, and I can't remember the game, but I remember the situation where Gerard made an incredible pass, a very long range pass to John Larissa, just perfect. I think it's probably on outside of his foot or whatever. And the commentator, like Swedish commentator, says now Gerard just shooting the balls away to win time, or whatever, because he didn't see what Gerard saw, and just perfectly
Oh,
put,
right. Yeah.
because Reese just went on his left and Gerard just passed it across a long range one, almost down to the corner, I think, like on the opposition half of the pitch. And the commentator didn't see that. He just thought that Gerard just shoots it away to win time, get rid of the ball. Instead, it was a perfect pass. And I love that kind of moments where the player just goes like, "I'm so fucking good." Not even the fucking commentator who can see the pitch sees what's happening. So yeah.
Was that the? Do you know what game that was? Or I've got a feeling I know what game that was.
I can't remember.
I've got a feeling it's a hybrid where he plays like a ridiculous ball into Risa, and Risa scores.
Oh, maybe. I can't remember if he scored over this. It was more like he actually reached him with a perfect pass, but it was more like the reaction of the commentator saying that he's just winning time by just getting the ball away. But instead, it was a brilliant pass, but I can't remember if it turned into a goal or whatever.
Because there's obviously maybe most people will have seen like the Risa goal, the hybrid, where inside the football by Gerrard, and like because of the camera angle, you can't see. Like it looks like it's going out of play, and then like Reese's like running into shot, and he's through on goal, and he scores. And then you hear the Highbury screamer, like screaming her guts out, like as it goes in. But Aiden says, Mark Lawrenson, yeah. You know what? I've said this before. Like I'd love like some fancies making a time machine, like go back and see these players and like in the pomp and that, like Kenny and Stevie Highway, like just like players like Rush and that, like. Barnes even, like obviously caught the tail end of his career, but he'd moved into like well, I mean, Barnes moved into like centre mid, and he was like, do you know what I mean, like doing that thing that players do when they get a bit older and they move inside and they use the creativity because they've lacked the pace is gone. But I mean, you went straight back to Billy Little there from yonks ago.
Yeah, no, but that's what I love when you watch LFC TV and they have a little bit of a short documentaries and stories about players in the past, way back, like 20s, 30s and stuff, and I just love to watch it because it feels like you've been there in one way, but you haven't, obviously. But it just feels like you get like them, like I said before, even if you haven't seen it live or you will never see it live, but it's like the emotions again. You can hear other people that are so much older than you, almost like 80, 90 years old, talking about them players in a way that we talk about our players today. And even comparing them to being, the best they ever seen, even if they've seen all the players through to today as well. You're saying, I've never seen a better goalie than, Alicia Scott or whatever. You'd be like, all right, I can't take it for, in my world, it's Alisson because that's what I've seen. But, I have to take you on your word that you saw him back when you were a kid. And you've seen all the great goals that we had, and you still think that. Fair enough. But I just love them stories. I'm quite, football romantic, and nostalgic, but I kind of love stories from back in the days where Liverpool kind of built itself up before Shankly and everything. I love that. That's, I would have loved to have a time machine, like you said, and go back at that time when, early 1900s and just be like, I want to see them players. That would be brilliant, but never going to happen. Not yet.
Back in just to see the footy, like the proper big leather bastard balls, like, you know what I mean? Like just goalies with no gloves on and all that shit. Like, I mean, like proper mad shit. I'm talking about like Beast, of course. Ron Yates sadly passed away last week, and he was, I mean, like there's legends and there's him. Do you know what I mean? Like, died at 86. Like, I mean, in fairness, he had a good innings, to be fair. Like, he's lived a long life there. Yeah. But in terms of like how good he was, like, of course, you need a time machine for us to be able to give you some insight on that. But like, the stories you heard about like Shankly talking about him and all that, like walk around our centre half, he's a colossus and all that, like just like quotes that like stay. And like
Exactly.
Shankly probably said that like as a throwaway comment, like one Saturday afternoon, and like how many years later, like we still know exactly what he said. And
That's
I
what I
think that's
mean.
why
That's
one
what I
of the reasons
love.
why I love Liverpool so much, because like
Yeah.
them little phrases just stick, and you'd like to think they're going to stick like the players that we've got now, and even the ones that like the likes of Ron Yates for years to come, they'll stick as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I think, you that's why I think, Liverpool supporters like us say that it's special to support Liverpool. I know all the clubs got that as well, but Liverpool got it in a different level, like so much more in terms of, especially people like Shankly, Paisley, even Jurgen Klopp. Like you could tell how much, supporters to other teams hated us for having him while they wanted to have him instead and be loved by him the way that he loved us. You know what I mean? And that makes Liverpool special in one way. You could say that about Alex Ferguson, obviously Man United. Every team had their, eras and unique moments and stuff. But I think Liverpool has had it more than most clubs. That's why we think we are special, and we are. But I think that's why opposition supporters also kind of hates us that much, if you like, even if it's a strong word, because they know it's true deep down, but they don't want to admit it because obviously they can't in one way, but they know it's true and that hurts, I guess.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put like a little message in, just saying like, what do people think like score prediction for Forest? Doug says 3-0. Looking forward to it. Aiden says 3-0. Yuki says 3-0. We're not gonna give away ours, lads. We're not gonna give away ours, but I think you just give it away by the big smile. Let's spoil alert. Kristian thinks 3-0 as well. Martin says, what's your gut feeling on the 3 contract renewals? Will all 3 sign? Do you think Mo, Virgin, Trent? What do you think, lad?
I think they will, to be honest. If you go back to what's been said lately about talks, starting with their agents and stuff, and everyone seems to be saying in one way that they want to stay. Trent hasn't really spoken out about it in the same way, but he's a local lad. He's an ex-captain. He's playing the Premier League. He's in one of the best teams. There is only one team that probably could come and get him, and that would be Real Madrid. But I think he still looks at himself as someone like Steven Gerrard, whose legacy would be a little bit broken if he left, and rather want to keep on trying to win with Liverpool and would be remembered as a proper Liverpool legend, playing as many games, scoring as many goals, assisting as many goals that he can. I think it's in him. It can always happen that he would go to Real Madrid because you can never count them out, especially with the team they got now. Every player in the world would be happy if they come and say, we would like you to play for us. That's just the way it is. But with Mo Salah, I think, he's saying he's still, playing for another couple of years at the highest level in Premier League. There's no way that we should, get rid of him in the form that he's in now, even if he's a little bit older. The numbers he's creating for us, the goals, the assists, you can't just replace that with any kind of player. So I'd rather have him for another 3 more years and see his decline and just accept that he's getting older and being like, yeah, another 3 years, maybe at the end of the 3 years, he's not as good anymore, and that's it. But then he scored many more goals, he broke many more records, he hopefully won another couple of trophies with us. And I think he's more up for that than grabbing the money in, for example, Saudi Arabia. So I think it's more of a conversation about agreeing on another contract, the length of it, and the plan going forward. And same with Van Dijk. He's saying he's a leader, he wants to stay and play for us. Alisson as well in the long term. So I'm quite optimistic that they will sort it out because they can see how important they are, and you just don't replace them players like overnight. And if you keep them for a little bit longer, you have more time to actually focus on what player that you could replace with. Even if we got like players like Kwanzaa, but you get more time to see like we need that player, or we can actually bring that player in a year, and he can develop under Salah and then replace him, or Van Dijk and replace him, or whatever. But I think it would be stupid if we let any of them go now, especially the way they started. So I think if they sit down and everyone is very logical and reasonable in their minds how it works, we probably see them for another at least 2 years in Liverpool.
Fingers crossed, lad. I'm hoping the exact same. It only worries me, like, we've heard Salah talking about it, haven't we? Of course, after the Man United game, where he was like, "This is my last year," and then he kind of clarified it. We were all like momentarily shitting our pants a little bit because we wasn't expecting him to say that. But he was kind of putting his cards on the table. I think, like, Van Dijk recently, I don't know if it was pre-Germany game, was saying, like, he's a leader at club level and international level. He wants to remain that for the next couple of years. So he's put his cards on the table. We know Alisson a couple of weeks ago said that he wants to stay. So he's put his cards on the table. The only one that hasn't is Trent. And I'm surprised, like, not one's kind of came out about it, like, in terms of what might happen. But we know, like, any interview he goes for, like, he done an interview recently with, like, LFC TV, and he was not asked about it. So it's like, they're obviously saying, like, let's not talk about it. Well, does that mean, like, it's going through and it's happening and there's no point talking about it because it's going to happen anyway? I just hope that, like, because that's, like, I mean, I've saw, like, other, like, I can't remember who I saw, like, other content creators, like, talking about, like, if you had to pick 2 to stay out of the 3, like, and I'm like, why are you doing this? I'm like, I get it, like, it's a good question and it, like, gets the debate going and all that, but, like, why are you doing it to yourself? Like, I don't want to. I want to say, I don't want to think about, like, which 2 I want to keep and what one I want to leave. Do you know what I mean? I think it's literally the unanswerable question. But
Yeah, but
for me, I feel like Trent is just, he's, like you said, a local lads. He's 25. He's so key to everything we're doing. So he's got to stay. He's got to.
Yeah, but I also think that a player like Trent, in his age, in a different age than Salah and Van Dijk, I think he's looking at, okay, what will Slot do now? How will we play? How will I be used? Before I put pen to paper, like, I want to know the plan. I want to know my position in this team, and what he wants me to do, and then he also, I think he looks for Liverpool. If Liverpool, sign contracts with Salah and Van Dijk, I think that's a major positive thing for Trent, because if Liverpool were to decide that we're going to let Salah leave after the summer on a free, even though he might score 25, 30 goals, you never know, because that's the number that he puts in since he came, in between. Like I said, you just don't replace that. So if Trent knows that Salah's going to stay for another couple of years, I think he's happy because he knows that he's going to provide with goals and assists that hopefully will result in trophies in the long term as well. We look in this season, next season, maybe another season after that. Same with Van Dijk. He looks at him, he might be 32, 33 or whatever, but he looks still as massive as, maybe not as good as and as quick as he was, a couple of times when we won the Champions League and the Premier League, but he's still one of the best in the world. It's not someone you used to get rid of and used to replace. So I think when Trent looks at the whole situation and sees Liverpool, getting contracts to Salah and Van Dijk, I think he's more willing to be like, yeah, I want to stay, because even if they're getting older, it's the same level. And, I guess that's something, if Liverpool were having them leaving, I think Trent would be thinking, we're getting rid of our best players, even if they're a little bit older, yes, but they're still, world class. That means, we need to replace them with something that can come in and do the job quite quickly for us not to decline in those positions. And for him, I think that's important, because obviously he want to play in one of the best teams that he can, and obviously it will help with him being a local that he wants to play for Liverpool. But if he sees signs that we kind of let our best players go, that could be something that make him look at Real Madrid, because he looks at that team. But as long as Liverpool show that they are ambitious enough to, make sure that the best players are still with us, and, in the long term we can replace them without being stressed into decisions, I think that's something that Trent also looks for. And he knows that when Van Dijk leaves one day, he will most likely be the new captain, and that's a dream of his as well. And I think that, he wants to have that on his resume, not just leave. So I think in the end of the day, he's just one of them where you don't really know what's going on. He doesn't really speak much. He's quite calm and, chilled. But I think in the background, I quite I think it's quite clear what he wants. He just want to make sure that Liverpool as a club make the right decisions first. That's my take on it.
Yeah, I think so. I think whatever the opposite, like a vicious circle, whatever the opposite of that is, a positive circle. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, I think it's going to be like, if Liverpool like do well, keep winning, the players are going to want to stay even more. Do you know what I mean? I think it's like a new phase where you've got like a new manager, new setup, like new backroom staff and everything. Pretty much the same squad, but they need to see that there's good stuff on the field, because like they're like, well, I've got a year left. If it goes to shit, it's easy to go, I'm off, lads. Like, do you know what I mean? I've had a great time here and whatever, but it's not going very well, and you aren't going to be challenging for this and X, Y, and Z. So it's easy for them players to leave. But if we're like up there challenging, like we said, like the Premier League games so far, we've been very good, perfect record. There's Champions League starting soon. There's Cup starting soon. So once all that starts to kick in as well, yeah, I mean, we all hope Liverpool are going to just keep winning. And I think if we do, that in a weird way helps like drum the momentum up for like players to go, well, we're winning all the time here. And it's because of you. So as a result of that, you have to sign a contract to make it keep happening in the future as well. I mean, we spoke on like the preview show, like I think it was the Man United preview show where we were talking about like how important like Van Dijk is, and like how important like Salah is, and like even if they dwindle like 1-2% in the future, they're still going to be world class players that are going to be better than 95%, 99% of any other players you can buy. So
exactly.
It's one of them. Like it feels like so black and white to me, but like Callie says here, I was going to read his message out here. The issue for Edwards is the gap between the players' salaries. Salah earns 7 times what Lewis does, 5 times Ibu's contract, keeping all of them, including future extensions, and will be expensive. But I would counter that with, like, if you want to keep winning footy matches and you want to keep challenging for stuff, you want to keep challenging for Premier League titles and Champions Leagues and domestic cups, and you want to be going on cup runs and everything, all the stuff that goes with it, you've got to fork out some money. Do you know what I mean? You've got to like,
and we haven't splashed the cash on any players coming in. But then we also sold players, so we haven't really used cash. So hopefully we can take that cash and just put into contracts and make sure that the players that we already have here, who's world class, we make sure they stay here instead of, okay, let's get rid of them and then we have to maybe replace not 3 of them maybe, but 2 of them, next summer. And it will be really, really hard to do, even if there's quality players already in the squad. But to find players who can create those numbers as Trent or Salah or even Van Dijk when it comes to defending, you can't really do it. So I hope when they haven't used money to buy expensive players to come in, they use the money instead of put that into contracts and saying, we can offer you the same wages or whatever, and maybe bonuses if you win trophies, some more money will come into blah, 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 whatever, because you're coming up to an age. And I think and hope that the players like Van Dijk and Salah, they're so happy at where they are at the moment, that they are happy to understand that they can't go higher now. They just have to maybe stay at the same and maybe have bonuses coming out if they win things, because that's the way Liverpool work. They know that they can't just go like, oh, well, I want another £50,000 a week added on to what I already have, because that's not the way we work as a club. But they know that. They obviously know that. So,
I think that's a good thing as well. They know the way the system is, like Liverpool. They know like it's value for money and all that stuff, and like all that stuff that we know FSG are big fans of, like making sure that you're selective in who you're keeping on. Like if your players are like, if Salah was like dwindling by like 20% in terms of output, there'd be no question that he wouldn't be signing. He wouldn't be signing a new deal, because the numbers would add up to a number that it wouldn't be favourable viewing for Mo Salah in terms of going forward. But the fact is that he's still producing, and even if that dwindles, like I said, a little bit, he's still going to be producing higher than what most other players in world footy are going to be producing. So yeah, I mean, I think pre this season, the start of the season, I was like, get slot in, pre-season, whatever, contract sorted now. Like that was me, and I remember speaking to you about it, and we said the same thing. Like, get the contract sorted ASAP. And then like obviously like we were talking about like midfielders, like Zubimendi was linked and whatever, and it was close to happening and whatever. Didn't happen. We've obviously brought Chiesa in. We signed a new keeper, who's coming next season. But for me, it was like get them contracts signed. Like obviously, like before the season kicked off, you're like, thing is, it's like you're learning as it goes. Like because we didn't know how the season was going to go. We didn't know if Slot was going to take to it as he has. Like we were hoping it was going to, but we've had a perfect record so far. But we were hoping it was going to happen, but you don't know, do you? Like it could have went wrong. Do you know what I mean? We could have had a few hiccups on that, but you're hoping that's going to go in the right way. So after that starts happening, and you start thinking like the contracts need to come soon. And yeah, I don't know when. Like I just love us to just drop a bombshell and go, yeah, Trent's like 5-year contract. You know what I mean? Like because Carly says here 1 year contract for Mo and Verge with a clause to extend 1 more year before January 26. Then give Trent whatever he wants. Yeah, I think that's. I'm literally. I mean, I'd love to give Mo and Verge like 2 years, but I can see the thing because like you give them 1 year, you go see how it goes this year because like at the moment like we'll see how it goes this year, but at the moment you're leaving next year. But if you give me a year contract, you go right. We see how it goes this year, and then like next year you can have like a proper insight into what maybe you might want to do going forward.
Yeah, I agree. You know, it could be a year with another year extension, or it could be a 2 year, whatever. But you know, I would say that you know I was listening to the Late Challenge, so shout out there, Robbo and Kobe. But I think they said something about if you haven't listened to their podcast, it's brilliant anyway. But yeah, I think they said something about where the contract situation when it comes to Trent, Virgil, and Mo Salah, that you know. With Arne Slot coming in and replacing Jurgen Klopp, it's like how Ferguson going to Moyes' moment without saying, obviously, that Arne Slot is Moyes, but it's a new era, a new person, a new manager, new ideas. You never know how it's going to turn out to be. You know, we had a brilliant start now, and hopefully that will continue, and it looks really, really good. I don't think there will be any problems the same way, obviously, that it turned out for Man United and Moyes, but, you know, the players like Virgil, Mo, and Trent with their contract situation, they will not put pen to paper before they actually know what's going on. They don't want to, offer the next 3 years for a club where it could turn out to be, I wouldn't say shit, but, you know, in a decline. So... I'm very much into what they said in the Late Challenge, that, you know, they want to wait and see what's going on, because it could be our Moyes moment. It's probably not going to be now, but in their heads, they want to see what this new lad is about. You know, the Arne Slot era, how will it turn out to be in the start? What is his philosophy? How do we want to play? How do we want to use us? You know, are we important to him? What is our, you know, I understand that they just don't go and, sign it. They wait a little bit, you know, have a feeling about it and see what happens. So it's quite logical in the end that they don't just sign a new contract straight away. I understand that the club actually went and waited for the transfer window to be shut, because then there's no, you know, buyings or sellings happening, and then they can focus on the players that we have and the contract situation and stuff. So in one way, that's logical, I guess.
Massively. I think, I think it's... Yeah, I think you can talk about it all you want. You know what I mean? Like, because it's
Sorry.
What? Oh, he's got me. You've got me, Martin. You've got me, Martin. He's got me. He's laughing. Them beers going down. What they are, you know. They are, you know. Like, yeah, I only bought like 4. Do you know what I mean? Like just 4 little. Not even they're like the Swedish cans, like in terms of like size, like they're a bit smaller than a pint, so it's not even like 4 pints. You know what I mean? It's a bit less than. Callie says there's also a great amount of trust from everyone involved. The entire situation feels very relaxed somehow. Yeah, I think so. Like, I think I was of that opinion like a few weeks ago, where I was like, it's fine, it's going to happen. But then like the Salah thing, where I think he got a little bit too comfortable because Sturridge was there, and he was having like he's got like a little bromance with Sturridge, hasn't he? And I think he was a bit like.
Yeah, but sorry to interrupt, but I think I just think he used the moment for the best way of saying my contract is up next season. This is my last year. So he's in one way saying Liverpool sort it out because I want to stay. Because it could be my last time here at Old Trafford, just scoring, winning the game for Liverpool in a way because he was one of the best players. Obviously,
Yeah.
I just think he took the moment to say my time is up next year. We'll see what happens, but making sure that obviously everyone hears it and Liverpool will know it. So it's just negotiation tactics at the perfect timing on the best television time of the day, I guess.
Well, yeah, straight after the game where everyone's gonna be watching because like I usually like if Liverpool like drop points or whatever, and like they have that like 3-hour window where they like look into every goal and decision, and like basically it feels like they talk to every single player and get every insight. But when Liverpool win, that's like the best. Like I think I was like downstairs and Kate was like, "Are you still watching the footy?" And it was like about an hour and a half after the game had ended, and I was like, yeah, just showing like the highlights again. Like I didn't know how to explain it. Like I was like, she was like looking at me going, "Why are you watching the highlights again?" I was like, "Nah, it's just like analysis."
I had the same.
Neville and Carragher like at each other's throats and all that. It's all fun stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a mad one. It's a mad one. It is. But lad, I think we can probably leave it there unless anyone's got any other questions they want us to discuss. Kristian can tell us his favourite beer while you think about that. Go on, lad.
How am I supposed to choose? That's the
anything that's cold and nice.
Now, I would say, as I always do when I just think of it, I think Guinness is the best. I love my Guinness, like I said before.
Over beer?
Yeah, but, I think Guinness is always the go-to when I don't know what I want to have. I'll just Guinness because I know I love it that much. It's hard to say, on just like a lager or, another kind of type. I don't know. It's hard because I drink anything. It sounds bad in one way, but I don't really have like, oh, I don't like this or I really love this. Yeah, I love my Guinness, but I'm never really like, oh, this tastes awful. I'm more like, yeah, I'll have that.
That's a very good summary of what it's like going into a pub with Kristian. They're like, "What are you having, lads?" He's like, "Whatever. What are you having? I'll have what you're having."
It's easy in one way, but
it's easy.
Yeah, but you have to connect with Niklas on Twitter and give him some advice of
will do.
Pubs between Anfield and City Centre if you can find any, and even other pubs if you know some hidden gems in the City Centre that hasn't already explored.
Well, there's plenty. I mean, me and you tend to go to like the usuals, like your Hull and all that, and Denver Castle. I mean, I always find myself going to the same places in town, like Shenanigans and down that end. Just love it. And especially because it's close to the train station for me. It's that easy to get back home. Martin says, sacrilege not drinking Guinness out of a Guinness glass, Kristian. What are your thoughts on that, lad?
I don't know. What is, to be honest, the first word? I don't know what that means.
Oh, like sacrilege, like it's a thing that you shouldn't be doing, basically.
All right. No comment.
Have you got a Guinness glass though you could use or not?
No, I don't think so. The thing is, I never really drink. Well, I buy cans of Guinness to drink at home, but I don't really have a proper glass for it. But I always rather go out for Guinness where it's poured properly. So that's the thing. It's Guinness at home in a can. It's more of a what do you call it? Like
does the job.
Yeah, it does the job, and it's more. Yeah, exactly. It's like a first kid aid. That's the thing.
First kid. That's a good way of putting it, actually. Yeah. Aidan says favorite drink Henry Western cider. I think I've had that before, but I don't remember the last time I had it. Yeah, I'm not really a cider drinker. Like I don't mind like Recorder League and all that, and like Kopparberg. Kristian hates it because it's Swedish, but it's not when it's a hot day and it's like in a glass full of ice and like you have a Kopparberg or a
I don't hate it, but Mick thinks I hate it because I probably said so at some point. But it's
you know what? Like,
it's sticky. Like you drink it, and if it's on your lips and you put them together, it's like with all the sugar. Like, and that's the thing.
You know what? But I'd love to show. Like, I think we were in the Vines having a pint, and we'd had like 6 pints at that point, and you went, and I went up the bar with you, and you were like, "What are you having?" And I was like, "You know what? I might get like a recorder leg." And the look that you gave me, I wish I could have recorded it because you looked at me like I just like shat on your face. You were like, you basically want to say you're not having a recorder, like you're having like a Guinness or like another beer or whatever. And I was like, sometimes you just want to mix it up, don't you?
Yeah, I can agree with sometimes if you've been on the bevies for a long day, it's good to just have a cider in between and it doesn't really matter what it is. But yeah, I just think they are they are very sweet, the Swedish ones. Like I think the English are a bit more, it's not as sweet. So I kind of appreciate them more when I have them because the recorder leg or the copper bag is always very sweet. So I think so much sugar in it. So it just tastes like fucking, what do you call it? Like cordial.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So
yeah, like sugary cordial.
yeah.
Well, Callie says Copperberg, the city cider. Yeah, of course. Like smashing windows with a Copperberg class. Love that picture. Just like a Copperberg's flying at their bus window. Martin says, "Good night, lads. Enjoyed that. You never walk alone." Nice one, Martin, for jumping on. It's been a laugh.
Cheers.
Jay has said, "Which player would be which beer?"
Ooh.
Fucking hell, how long have you got? We've got to do the whole squad.
Another hour.
Allison would be he'd be something sexy, wouldn't he? Allison. What would Allison be? Would Allison be Guinness?
Nah, is there any Brazilian beer? Like, I don't know.
But then, like, you just picking like the beer nationality is the.
Oh yeah, true.
Do you know what I mean?
True.
I don't know. I'm trying to think.
We should save this for another drink and discuss. We should keep this actually and do one properly. Like which one? To be honest.
And the people that turn up to the next one, I'd be like, "Who are these cunts? And why are they talking about like Allison is Guinness?"
Yeah,
like,
just blame Jay. Blame Jay.
Yeah, we'll save that for next time. Doug says, "Who would be the first manager sacked in your opinion?" Go on, lad. What do you think?
On a slot. I don't know. I hope it's not Derek Ten Hag because I love what he's doing at Man United at the moment.
Yeah, I want him to be, but I also don't because I want the terror and like the just being sad forever, just to remain forever. I really do.
Yeah, I don't know. Who do you think? If you just actually have to be serious for once.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Daesh.
Oh yeah, it's a
if they carry on,
yeah,
they're fucked. I mean, I'm absolutely loving every second of it. I really am.
I can't wait for the explanations or the excuses when he comes on. It's just gonna be,
Fucking hell, that's nice. Choked on me drink there.
But yeah, that's a good shout, to be honest, because if they keep on doing what they're doing over there, then he's probably gone.
Fucked.
Yeah.
Aiden says it's the dry side of decent stuff. Yeah, Henry Weston's. Jay says, let's save it next time. And Doof, will he like Foster's because it's shit? Oh, were you saying which beer would the player like, or were you saying which beer would a player be? So like Allison would be Guinness because he's sexy, or would it be I think. I was trying to think of a shit player we haven't got any shit players. Hey, I'm on a good team. You know what I mean? I'm trying to think of someone who's shit. Who's gonna like Carlin or whatever, but I can't think of any. Represents. Oh yeah. Yeah, we'll save that for next time. Definitely, we'll do that.
Yeah.
Haynes says, "Good night, lads. Great chat up the Reds." Yeah, right, lad. We're out of here. Done an hour and 20. That's enough for anyone. We say every time we're going to do these, we'll do like 50 minutes, and we end up doing. I think we've done 2 hours last time, which was hilarious.
Yeah, no, but people send in questions. People are, interacting with us in the chat. It's nice, and I don't really have anything else to do than go to sleep, and it's quite boring. So that's the thing. But yeah, we should probably leave it there. But yeah, that's the thing. Why you keep on going is because people actually are watching and commenting and stuff. So I appreciate that very much. It's very fun to do this again. Hopefully we can actually try to do it more often, because now it's been, like you said before, like it's 9 months since we did it last time because of life, I guess. But we should try to get this going, at least a couple of times a month if we can.
Even just once
every week. Yeah, because every week would be difficult, but maybe twice a month or something if we can. Just have a drink and discuss about, life and Liverpool and stuff. So appreciate that. And yeah, please go and, follow. I guess you all do follow the Copper podcast, obviously already, but to spread our tweets and retweet and give shout and stuff. We appreciate it all because obviously it helps us. So thank you for that.
Yeah, defo. Well, yeah, nice one everyone for interacting. As always, it feels weird being back on here, but yeah, if we do it, even if it's just one a month, I think it'll be a laugh just to.
And the good thing is, this will be a show, so you can listen to it again if you like.
Yeah, you can makes a good point. International break. So we've got one in October, we've got one in November. So like, just post them in the international break, and it gives people a chance to have a chat about the footy, because there's no club footy going on. It's all international shite. But yeah, for people who have been enjoying most of this one, I'll be putting it on Spotify as well. Anyway, if you want to, you don't have to re-listen, because it is 90% shite of us talking about like which drinks our favourite and all that. But we do appreciate you jumping on and having a little nice time with us as well. Yeah, so nice one, Kristian, as always. Nice one, everyone, for jumping on, and yeah, we'll see you all very soon. Ta-da.
I'm Jamie Carragher, and you are listening to the Copy Podcast.